Riley, welcome to my channel. So,
Hi, happy to be here.
hi. And you're all the way in Chile. That's so far away from me right now.
Yeah, other side of the world.
Yeah, completely. So, what time is it, by the way?
Right now it's 7 p.m.
7 p.m. And I'm in the UK for the moment being. Usually I'm in Sweden. So here it's midnight. So it's not that, much of a time difference. It's basically the,
Yeah, a few hours apart.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, so wait a minute. Just a bit of observer things here first before we get
Huh?
started. It's August, so it should be winter, right?
Yes. Yeah, actually, it is. It's a yeah, it's about to finish. Winter's about to finish.
So what's your winter like right now? Or what has it been like?
Well, yesterday it rained. Like the climate has been a mess, very like cold, windy. It's been raining a lot. Um, but nothing out of the ordinary, honestly.
Okay. What about the temperature, like average approx?
So in Celsius, it's been at like about 10, sometimes it gets lower. I think the coldest that we've gotten has been like where in the capital, it's been like probably like 3 or 4 Celsius. That's like the lowest, but usually it hangs around like 11 to like 17, sometimes a little more, but that's how it has been like for the winter from what I've seen. So like still pretty cold.
Pretty cold, but yet there is no snow then.
Yeah, there isn't because Chile is like a valley, right? So like at the lower parts,
Mhm.
it's not as bad as in the mountains. In the mountains, like much colder, right? So like there is snow in the mountains, but not in the rest of the city.
And probably down in the south as well.
Yeah, in the south as well, of course. Yeah,
Because you guys, you actually do have penguins in the south.
we do. We do have penguins.
That is so cool. And you have the desert in the north.
Yeah, it is insanely varied as a country. Chile is like so wide. We have like almost every single like landscape you can imagine.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Like, yeah, I was blown away when I went to Chile and I spent some time there. And I remember you had both like palm trees and blueberries, like the
Yeah.
combinations. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Just so funny.
Yeah, I remember when my husband came to visit, he was like commenting on that stuff. Like we were like and riding on an Uber, and he was like, "Wait, there's palm trees like on the streets." Like, yeah, that's like they're everywhere here.
Yeah. That's so nice. So, Riley,
Mm.
I'm so happy to talk to you. And today we're going to make an episode of Gamma Talks because you are a Gamma.
Yep,
I don't,
excited to be
sorry.
excited to be here and represent all the gammas.
Yes, you are the representative today. And yeah, so please tell us your type and how has your journey been in OP and in terms of typology?
Okay, okay. So I am visual, NIFI, sleep, blast, play, consume, social 4. I got typed about 3 years ago. Though initially I got typed as double feminine, but I got retyped this year.
Mhm.
I don't remember the month. I think it was like 2 or 3 months ago, probably around that time. And I got retyped just as FM, and the social confirmed as social 4, but I already knew. So
Oh, you already knew. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there. So you were originally typed double feminine and then visual. So how
Yeah.
did you discover that? Like how did that retyping come about?
Yeah, that's so when I first got typed, right? Initially like I took the type and it kind of like I said with it and I was like, okay, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't that far off from like my self type. my
Mhm.
initial self type was like before I got my type, like my last self type was like double feminine, NIFE, blast, sleep, play, consume. Like that was what I thought I was, right?
Right.
But the masculine like FI, like it kind of like makes sense. I sat with it for a bit and people were like agreeing on it. But the more I sat with it and the more I compared myself to like my type twins and people similar, like the more I started like noticing like something's not right. And for the longest time I thought that I was like probably FE. So like feminine FE. So like I kept like
Mhm.
asking people, talking to them, but not really like being serious, right? And I was never like, guys, I'm gonna get retyped. I was like, hey, do you think I might be this? You know, like because
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I agree, right? And people like they were seeing FI, so it's like that makes sense. But
Yeah.
I was much more neurotic than my masculine FI like siblings, type wise, right?
Mhm.
So then it kind of like hit me one day, when I was like talking to someone that this person was like, I don't know why, like I thought you were like visual or something, and I'm like, what if I am? What if I'm actually feminine FI? And then I started like thinking about it and formulating it, and I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking visual. And I just sent a video, told Dave. I was like, hey Dave, I think I might be mistyped. Can I submit for like retyping and all that stuff? And like we did the whole process and gave him some like, audio, some clips and stuff that I had like hanging around and all the stuff. And he was like, yeah, you're definitely visual and you're a social, by the way, you're a four. So it's
So
like
how
now it
did
makes sense.
he, like, how did he see you as a visual? Like, what was his arguments or his reasoning?
It was mostly the like agreeing with the things that I was seeing, right? The seeing the tribe as like this like strong force, like me, like frail and small like, versus the tribe like, unmovable, feeling like the tribe is bullying you.
Mhm.
Um, like the tribe is picking on you, that sort of stuff. Also the feminine feeling, neuroticism that comes with that.
Mhm.
And the feminine DI, it's like the movable identity, that sort of stuff, right? So it's like it's a whole cross check. And it's also like pretty easy to see, like if you just like, look at me, it's like I look visual and you can
Mhm.
cross check with like all the functions. The like double masculine blast is very obvious,
Mhm.
especially like with them because I send him a lot of like, clips and videos of like me interacting with my husband. And I'm like a drill sergeant with him a little bit sometimes. So
You
it's
like,
kind of what it is.
what did you
It's
say?
very commanding, right? It's like, hey, you do this.
Yeah.
It's not like the MF blast that's kind of nice to hear, like the double feminine blast. It's like, hey, could you do this? Like, no, hey, you go do that.
Mhm.
It's like so it's like it was pretty like easy to see. And once like I got retyped and I told everyone, like people were like, oh, this makes so much sense, right? It's like now your type makes sense, right? Of course, there's always gonna be the people that like are not gonna agree, but hey, if you want to be wrong, sure. Enjoy being wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's not relevant, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's cool. So, let's unpack your type a little bit step by step then, because
Sure.
we're talking about the element of being visual. You're describing how basically the tribe is bullying you, is perceived more as a threat, maybe.
Yeah.
How is that like? Yeah, how has that been throughout your life? Like, can you describe that mask?
Yeah, of course.
Because
Yeah,
it's
of course.
female also, so I guess it's coming out even stronger in a way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's true. So, okay, one of my biggest misconceptions and why I did initially like accept the masculine FI typing that they gave me is because I thought I was like really hard on myself. I thought I did the, pressure on self that masculine DI is commonly associated to have.
Mm.
But the pressure on self that I felt was not like me, like, hey, you gotta be better, you gotta do this. It was always like showed itself as like the tribe yelling at me inside my head. It's like having frogs in my pocket, but all the frogs have knives, you know?
Oh, that's
Like,
yeah.
yeah. yeah, that's kind of how it felt. So it's like every time I would do whatever, I would imagine like, hey, what would people think if I did X, Y, or Z? What would they think if I said this? And it's always like very high standards from like my family, my siblings, my parents, like everyone around me, my friends. And it's always like very negative, very like assuming that they would say the worst, that they would criticize me over like many things. And to be fair, I did grow up being like criticized like a lot by my parents, right? So I think that also might made it even worse,
Mm.
right? But it's always that, right? That's what I associated like pressure on self to be, because that's how I felt it. So I thought, yeah, of course, I'm very hard on myself, but
Mm.
that being hard on myself is just the tribe inside my head that's being mean. Because I always felt like I was like kind of like hopeless, like like I always felt like I was under attack every time.
Mm.
And it kind of clicked for me one time that my mom, like we were talking and she gave me like a nice compliment after we went in a birthday party, right? And she said like, "Hey, I'm really proud of you because like you behaved super well like this day." And
Mm.
I was like, "Oh, yeah, what do you mean?" And she told me, "Well, it's because like growing up, you've always been like very argumentative and you feel like everyone is attacking you." Like those were her exact words. And I was just like, that
Mhm.
is masculine DE. She's describing masculine DE. Okay, I'm fucking masculine DE. So, you know, like she doesn't know PS, but like she saw it. Like everyone saw it,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah, she just used different words to describe the exact same thing.
yeah, exactly. And like I love my mom. Like we get along super well, but we argue so much. Like so,
Think she has masculine DE as well, or
yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty certain she does.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's probably like some sort of like masculine DE, like EJ, perhaps. That's what I think she might be.
Okay. Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
I
Like
can.
probably like yeah, like probably like play consume. She sounds like a skip to me.
Okay. Cool. So you
Yeah.
are in control, and she's the skip then. Sleep lost.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
she's a little chaos monkey, but I love her like that.
Of course. Yeah. So yeah, let's dive into each and every coin, and also do some contrasting and comparing with our types because we are both NI lead, but in your case, and IJs as well,
Yeah.
same service. So, but in your case, you have masculine NI and I have feminine NI first. So that's a difference, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like what we usually talk about or connect it to is like strong visions, strong plans, like this one path in a way. And
Yeah.
but then you also have feminine FI softer values, right? So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that. How do you notice that contrast in yourself? Because your saviors
Mhm.
are so like one is very masculine and the other one is soft and feminine. And I
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like an interesting like dichotomy because like my sleep, it's like divided in two aspects. Like one is the masculine and I, that's just like very certain, very confident, with basically like known information, because that's what an I is, like known and like guesses basically, right?
yeah.
Now like and then you have the FI, which is the values, like just like feminine and wobbly. So there's this weird thing where I kind of know where I'm going. Like I know where the destination is,
Mm.
but I don't know the feeling aspect of that. Like I don't know why I want to be like why I want to go there. I don't know if I really want to go there. Like I just feel like I might have to, right? Or I don't know how I'm gonna get when I get there. Like I'm not sure how I feel in that part of that equation. I just know, okay, that's the destination, that's where we're going. It's kind of like you have no real like control or like no real like voice in the matter of like imagine you're in a car right and the car is going in whatever direction and you're sitting next to the pilot, right?
Mm.
And whatever you say the pilot just doesn't listen and keeps going and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, okay, we're going there. Sure, I didn't want to, but sure, now I want, okay. And it's kind of like that, right?
Like
It's
you
like you
don't
have this
have
inner
a choice
voice.
almost.
Yeah, yeah,
You just,
it's kind of like I mentioned, it feels like you don't have a voice in that day. Because like I think what I identify with that is like it's more trying to look optimistic about it, like see the bright side. Okay, maybe I'm going there. Might be like, good. I might end up liking it. I'm gonna be okay or something because the movability of the feelings.
Mhm.
But I think a lot of my NI, it's linked to my in a way to the masculine TE that's influencing the sleep like externally, right? Because I feel like okay, I'm going in a way that it's gonna make my family happy. It's gonna make my loved ones happy, right? So I can see that aspect. But me myself, like the FI aspect of it, it's like changing. It's like, well, maybe if I don't want to go there, like I might like to go there eventually, right? And sometimes it's a whole mess when I feel like I'm being pulled in a different direction that I know it's going to upset a lot of people.
Mhm.
It feels hopeless because I feel like I don't have a say in the matter, right? So, for example, like being very open about something, right? Like I'm trans, right? So like I transition from like male to female.
Mhm.
So when I transition, it's not something that I wanted. It's not something that like, oh, I feel like I'm trans and I'm gonna start transitioning. It's kind of like, fuck, I'm trans. Shit. What makes the most sense for me is to transition. Everyone's gonna be mad at me, that sort of thing. So it's like I kind of like had to do it in a way, right? It's not like someone coerced me into transitioning. It's like, okay, this is the path that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna be unhappy with the rest of my life.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that thing. It's like you just see what a thinker makes kind of like the most sense. And with the NI, you lock in on like, okay, this is the outcome that's gonna go there.
That
And you
make,
just adapt along the way internally with the feminine FI. So
yeah.
I feel like maybe a lot of EJs like identify to that. That's something that I talked about with Dave. He said that my type externally looks very EJ-like, that I have a lot of EJ struggles because of the anatomy of my type per se.
Mhm.
And that's just like one of the struggles, right? It's just kind of like going along and like moving along.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
That's so interesting to hear. Thank you, first of all, for sharing and being so, yeah, generous about such a.
yeah, no problem.
Um, I'm thinking because it sounds like even though you are savior DI, savior FI, you still seem to be paying a lot of attention to the tribe's wants,
Yeah.
needs, and how things affect them in different ways. I just took the
Yeah.
dog because she was barking at something, I don't know what it was outside, and
Mhm.
I would calm her down a bit, but I think she wants to go back. You want to go back to bed? Let's put you to bed. Okay. There we go.
Aw,
Yeah.
cutie.
Yeah, quite cute. Yeah, but yeah, just interesting to see that in you because I mean, for me, naturally, as an FE savior, that's like something I struggle with all the time.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
also
exactly.
my F is also feminine, but it's not my DI. It's my savior. Um, yeah, it's just very interesting. But in your case, like you said, you still know that if you don't follow through, if you don't do your thing, that will
Mhm.
cause you unhappiness in the long run. And
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
especially
That's
still like the FI,
yeah,
even though you
yeah,
are considering everyone else. And yeah, that's an interesting
yeah, yeah.
combination.
I think like at the end of the day, like all your functions are impacted by each other. So our masculines are like what we're most like confident on. So inadvertently those impact our feminine functions,
Mhm.
right? So um the TE is like impacting a lot of my FI, right?
Right.
So my entire life I've been like aware of the FI,
Mhm.
right? Because like it's in a savior state, even if it's like single activated.
Mhm.
Um, And just like the fight and trying to suppress the FI or like just to ignore it has been like really difficult. And
Mhm.
it got to a point where like it was so unhealthy that I was living so unhappy that I just had to tell myself, okay, yeah, no, I can't keep like hiding this. I can't keep lying to myself, basically. Right. Because
Right.
my family was like very conservative. They were like very old fashioned and stuff. And I knew that if I ever stepped out of line and I did like, this, like there would be there would be a lot of pushback.
Yeah,
And
right. They wouldn't.
I was right.
Mm.
Yeah, I was right. There was a lot of pushback. But thankfully I was in a stage in life where like I was mature enough and they were like, you know, we've been on good terms. We have good communication and nothing terrible happened, right? No one got um kicked out of the house. No one got killed or anything, like no one got disowned, thankfully. So,
Right.
and they're pretty supportive nowadays, which I'm very thankful for.
I see.
I wish everyone that is going through something similar experiences like as much support as I have, right? Even though I still felt some pushback, I at the end of the day, like it's mainly okay, right? But
Right. Yeah, and also having that masculine DE, like tribe function there as
yeah,
also. It's like, yeah, it must be so intimidating and scary and
yeah,
just think of the
yeah.
reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think masculine DE has like a lot of upsides, but it does have like downsides as well, right? Like one is like what do you say is feeling the tribe as intimidating. The tribe is like you're certain on what the tribe is going to think. You're certain on what the tribe is going to say. You're certain what the reaction is going to be. Like you
Mm.
just know it and you see it as this massive like demon when it's in a demon state that's coming at you and you can't really like go against it. It's
Yeah.
like I describe it as like having frogs in your pocket, but the frogs have knives, you know?
Yeah,
It's kind of like that.
yeah, that's so interesting.
Also, give me just a tiny second.
Sure, sure.
There is a little drama queen that's been crying
Oh,
and
you're
wants
the
it.
drama queen as well?
I give in.
A
I give in.
ragdoll, is it?
Yeah, he's so cute.
Oh,
He's
cute. I
he's
love ragdoll.
actually he's actually an Owahi bobtail. It's a type of ragdoll. It's like he has a very short tail.
Oh, okay, okay.
He's so vocal. He's so dramatic. This is what he wanted, by the way. He just wants to cuddle. So
Yeah.
sorry, a little bit of thorough chaos.
Very typical. That's
Yeah.
so cute. Okay, so thank you for sharing about your NIFI, basically your saviors,
Yeah, sleep. Yeah.
the conflict between the masculine NI that knows where it's going and the FI that is feminine.
Yeah, it gets dragged along. That is the thing. You're just along for the ride in a way. Like you know what's gonna happen, you know where you're going, but like you don't necessarily want to be there. But that's the thing. You don't also necessarily don't want to be there. You're kind of like indifferent and you're just dragged along for the ride.
Yeah, and kind of
It's
accepting it then. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's like it's like kind of like the meme of the dog with the house on fire, and you're like, this is fine. It's like that.
Oof, okay. Thank you for explaining it so well. So, but if we would try and see if there is an example of when your TE, like the demon, when it kicks in, what does it usually look like? Like, is it little bursts of logic? Now I'm talking in general, I mean, or more like clashes with the outside world. You mentioned your mother and her
Yeah,
being masculine DE as well, and the clashes there. But yeah, tell me more. What does it look like
yeah,
when it kicks in?
yeah. So um, well, like I said, all functions are kind of like they impact each other. So I think the masculine TE, the aspect of it that is very apparent is like it's very certain on the logic, right? But usually there is no need for the masculine TE to get to that point and like be certain on the logic, right? There's not a need to like argue and like push back.
Mhm.
But for me, what happens is when I lose my temper really quickly, the feminine feeling is very volatile. So whenever I do, I'm just like really snappy, really sharp. Like I pick up things super quickly and I argue back
Mhm.
like really quickly, right? I'm not the type of person that I'm not paying attention to other people. So like whenever I'm talking to someone, the masculine DE is like locked in on the other person all the time.
Mhm.
So when something that a person says stands out to me or it's like, okay, that was wrong, I'll immediately point it out. Or like if something stands out as like, okay, that's interesting. What do you mean? And I'll immediately like push on that, right? It's like I view masculine DE as just like hyper focused on the tribe, no matter where it is,
Mhm.
right? If you're masculine DE, you're more focused on the tribe than you are on yourself, and especially on a one-on-one interaction, right? I know that they say that people always tell me, right? They're like, why do you care so much about what other people think? Like no one is really paying attention, and I'm like, no, there are people like me, and I am paying attention. I'm like looking at you in a microscope,
Mhm.
So it's like you're just projecting from your own self. Like maybe you don't pay attention, but I do. Every
Right.
single Muslim TE people, like we do. So
Mm.
it's like whenever you say something in the case of the TEs, like that is not logical, that doesn't make sense, that it's wrong. It's like, okay, come at me. What did you just say? It's like that sort of stuff.
Right. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's not something that I like doing. It comes in a demon state for me, right? So like it takes me a while to get there. And it usually comes out when I'm like, upset at something, when I'm frustrated,
Mhm.
and it can be a little destructive. So I've been trying to practice to just be more open and allow myself to get to the TE without necessitating to be mad for me to get to it. And I've seen a lot of good results now that I have the awareness that, oh, I have masculine TE in a demon state.
Mhm.
Okay, maybe I need to get there sooner before I get in a demon state to the thinking. And yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that makes sense. And also when a demon is masculine, once it comes out, it's usually quite forceful. Like I have
Yeah,
my demons, both of them are actually masculine too. And so,
yeah,
yeah, that's quite a abrupt kind of switch, the swing.
yeah. Yeah, it's like a whole contrast. You feel like part of your personality is like reversed, like you flip a switch and it's like, who's this person, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I imagine for you it might be like much more extreme because you have like both of your demons as masculine. That's
Yeah, fortunately, one of them is introverted and just the last one is extroverted. I think if you have double masculine demons that are both extroverted, I think that's when the real Hulk syndrome happens, you know?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, in my case, my masculines it's the consume animal, which is an introverted animal. And I'm able to hide it to some extent. But yeah, I can get very rigid with facts with the ST when I come all the way down there.
right.
So
I
that's
see.
contrast, like you're super movable and flexible and yeah, whatever works and like that with double feminine saviors, very fluffy at the top.
Yeah, I see. Interesting.
And
I,
suddenly
I
you are totally unmovable. Like, these are the facts. These are the facts. No discussion, end of discussion. It's like, hey, who is she again? Like very confusing, I think, for some. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. It's like when like people always fight with their demons. Like sorry, always fight with their masculines. That's what I meant.
Yeah, with the masculines.
So that's where they push.
Yeah.
So when you have your masculines as your demons, when they get to fight with you, they push on your demons. So I imagine that's like not usually the easiest time for
No.
me, at least.
Mm.
One of it is my saviors, like it's my NI. So at least part of it is like under control, but the TE sometimes it goes wild. I have this experience of like whenever I get to a point where I'm like at an arguing point, I'm usually like arguing while crying. It's a thing that happens to me like quite often. It's like
Mm.
it just gets there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm doing the NI eyes. I'm trying not to. My sister keeps telling me, stop it. And it's so hard, you know.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, what was I thinking? Like the NI, because you still have the blast, it's a savior. So
Yeah.
both of your masculine functions are actually activated at least once in a savior state with your
Yeah.
blast. Because it
Yeah. Yeah.
be like when you are explaining something, like for example, you're explaining that NI is taking the lead and FI is just there for the ride and just has to hold on more or less and go with it. It's like your way of explaining things with your masculine anti-blast is very
Mhm.
easy to understand, at least to me. Um,
Yeah.
I adore anti-blast, even just usually, but yeah, in a savior state, it's
Aw.
so good, like so useful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I do get told that a lot, that I'm good at explaining things,
Yeah.
which I think it makes sense, right? If I'm like certain on the NT and it's a blast animal, so it's like it's very easy to communicate. So this just like was through my entire life. I was growing up, I was the friend in school that like we hang out with my friends to study, and I was the one that was explaining to them, right? So, but then it comes the downside of like, okay, double masculine NT.
Mhm.
Well, there's the double feminine SF that I'm just clueless, you
Mhm.
know? So it has upsides, but it also has some downsides, right?
But you're
But
double,
yeah,
you have a double feminine SF. That's true. And that's also like your last function. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about your last animal if you want to.
yeah,
Like
of course.
how
It,
can you what do you see or what do you understand so far? Because it's a journey, of course, throughout life about
yeah.
animal. How is it affecting you or how has it affected you throughout your life? Until
So, okay, I feel like the double masculine, like blast anchors me a lot, but the double feminine SF feels completely disembodied. Part of it is the sensory aspect that is like, what's true, what's real, what are the facts, and it also manifests with like, it's SE, so like present, the moment, gather new things, right? So for me, I'm completely clueless. And the consume aspect of like, okay, grabbing new for self, like I'm completely clueless. I usually have a hard time identifying what it is that I want in the moment. I have a hard time like living in the moment, right? I'm mostly just like in my head thinking about like whatever's gonna happen.
Mm.
Um, my husband doesn't quite get it because I'm probably one of the people that has one of the most vivid imaginations that I know. Like I can literally sit on a plane for 9 hours,
Mm.
not watching a movie, not doing nothing, just sitting thinking of stuff. And I'm just perfectly fine, like imagining things,
I
right?
can relate. I can relate. I can do that too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so
And it's like I just entertain myself. It's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Like nice. But
and like where did those 9 hours go? It's like
exactly.
you just live
Exactly.
time. I relate so much. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
But
I'm usually like I have a hard time.
he has a hard time to understand that.
Yeah, he struggled to like because he doesn't really relate to that. He needs to be like consuming something or like
Yeah.
but for me I'm just fine like not consuming, right? It's like the consume last aspect of it. I just like I always say that consume last is kind of like a hungry baby that doesn't cry. Because like you have needs, of course. Consume is like, part of life, like everyone has consumed. But when it's last, it's like you're not allowed to advocate for your own needs, right? You're not allowed to take up space for yourself so
That's very
this,
sad, by the way, I think.
yeah, Yeah,
I
yeah,
just feel, I feel you when you're saying it. It's like, yeah, that's, ooh, I feel it. It's like you are not allowed to ask for self, right?
yeah, exactly. Like I'm not allowed to like say that, oh, but what about me? Like, oh, I want that because I'm
Yeah.
just like, I don't want to bother other people. I don't want to like be a nuisance. I don't want to be like the entitled, spoiled child that's like, give me this, mommy, let's bring this to the house. And then your mom is just stressed, like her marriage is falling apart. Like, you don't want to be that, you're like aware that your mom is stressed and you're like, oh no, she's gonna feel bad. I'm not gonna bother her now,
Mm.
So I think part of it is like when you have the Saber Blast, it's like you're aware of the tribe, so you're aware not to bother the tribe. And
Mm.
especially when it's like masculine, right? In my case, it's like I'm hyper aware of like, okay, I need to not be a nuisance because otherwise these people are going through like a lot of bad things right now, and I don't need to make it even worse. So I never advocate for myself. I'm like, okay, I'll just ignore my needs. I'll be fine later, right? I'm not gonna be rebellious. I'm not gonna like, like be but in reality I'm just leaving myself behind, and that's like part of the growth that I've been doing, like trying to listen to myself, listen to my own voice, like, okay, what do I want, how do I feel, what is my opinion on this, right? So that's been challenging, it's been difficult.
Wow.
My husband always does this when he like asks me like, hey, what do you want to eat, and I have no clue. I'm like, whatever you want to eat. But he's like, no, 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 but what do you want to eat, because he wants to like treat me nicely. I'm like, I really don't have a preference. I don't know. I have no clue. It's like I'm just cool with whatever. So it's difficult, right? It's something to overcome. So, like going back to your initial question, like part of the journey for me has been like learning that it's okay to pay attention to myself
Mm.
and to see what I need, what I want, and ask myself, like, hey, what do you need? What do you want? What are you missing?
Yeah.
Because I think like our voids are leaving a void, right? They are a void for a reason, right? It's like the last animal. So when you are not doing consume, it's like you're not looking after yourself because you were taught not to do that. So there's this void of, well, you weren't looked after probably, or you weren't told that, hey, you need to look after yourself. So you just learn to suppress it. Like people have to fill in that void eventually. Otherwise, it leaves like an empty space inside your heart, and it's you don't want to go that route basically. I'm happy now that I'm like trying to pay more attention to myself, right?
Yeah. Wow. Like your insights are hitting me hard right now because
Yeah.
I can really relate, but we are both very similar animal stacks because you're just
Yeah.
sleep blast, play consume, and I'm blast sleep, play consume. So it's basically, yeah, same saviors, same demons, consume last. And yeah, what you're saying about the conundrum of having sleep over consume, sleep as a savior and consume as a demon. It's like,
Exactly.
even though you are, because this is interesting to me, I am DE, but you are DI, yet
Hmm.
we have the same struggle because of the consume last.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Yeah,
realize
exactly.
that until you told me now, right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's really weird. It's like I think we just might face a similar struggle, but we handle it different, right? Since for you the tribe is a savior, I'm assuming maybe like you feel safer going to the tribe for help, or like opening up to the tribe, or you don't see the tribe as threatening, especially when it's like feminine DE, right? As for me, like the tribe is just like I need to suppress all this stuff because like I don't want to like avoid like annoy the tribe. Like the tribe is scary. Like I don't want them to get mad at me. I don't want them to hate me. And even if it's a double decider, right, that I know, okay, I'm gonna get unstuck from there, it still like feels like a huge like burden. And I'm very conscious of like, okay, I need to not bother the tribe, right?
Mm.
And it's kind of like suppressing my own needs. That's, in my opinion, the approach that I'm taking with like being DI and being consume less, right? It's like I'm aware of my needs, so I'm gonna suppress them, right? I'm gonna like be aware that okay, I need to like take one for the team, basically, right? It's kind of what it feels like, and it's kind of sad, but that's now with the awareness, I've been like breaking free from that and like just acknowledging, hey, I actually matter. Like I do have needs as well, right? It's like Like there is a reason I came out as trans after like so many years because I finally felt like, wow, I need to actually pay attention to myself. Like what am I? Who am I? What do I need? Right.
Mm.
And this was like one of my best, like one of the better decisions that I made for myself because I was living so miserable my entire life. And now I'm just like, wow, I actually don't hate myself when I look in the mirror.
Hmm.
I should
Wow.
have done this sooner. Right. So
Oof. Hmm.
this got heavy.
Yeah, really heavy. Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing so many similarities, like with us both being Savior Blast. I'm wondering if that's it. Um,
Mm,
because I relate to so many things that you are talking about right now.
yeah.
So many things. And when you asked me or assumed that maybe the tribe is more, yeah, it's more friendly, of course, because I'm feminine DE, right? And I'm also
Hmm.
savior. But in terms of asking them for help, no, I don't. I guess maybe that's the, the blast, sleep, sleep, blast curse.
Yeah.
You won't
Hmm.
go and ask for something for self because you're still consumed, demon consumed, you know?
Yeah.
So
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll just have to figure it out, like guess your way through it, hope for the
Okay.
best, but don't go bother the tribe. Like I feel that too. I don't bother the tribe. It's like, no way.
Okay.
I'm here to help the tribe, and that's probably the curse of a blaster.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Do you also feel like the massive like guilt or regret when like eventually something happens in life that you get overwhelmed and like you need help from other people? Because like that happens to me and it just feels terrible.
Like,
Like
can you explain a little bit? Like, I just want
like
to
like
get.
for example, there might be a situation in life where like you're in a really dark place or spot or something and like the tribe comes to save you from something, like do you also feel like guilty when it's like, oh, I shouldn't have bothered other people? Because that kind of happens to me, like um for example, when I have like health issues, for example, and people have been like taking care of me, right, I usually feel like, oh, I shouldn't, right, and that sort of stuff. Or like when someone sees me having a hard time and they give me like special treatment, right, that to me it feels like I shouldn't, right? Do you
Interesting.
experience that?
Huh, no, not really. But if I ever like have needed some extra support or help in terms of health, because I'm like you, we are SE last and
Hmm.
I'm very open with I'm a baby when it comes to sensory, like super duper extra extra
Hmm.
everything baby, like you can't
Oh.
grasp how bad it is. So I'm, it's like I have very low tolerance for pain, for example.
Oh,
So
I see.
if I am in need in terms of health, if I have like a health issue that causes me some physical pain, I will become the baby, like I can't help myself. I'm just really vulnerable and I'm really like it's almost like all my masks or whatever you want to call it, like all the
Yeah.
walls that I usually have as a savior sleep, they're just
Wow.
shattered in a moment because I can't deal with that sensory aspect of.
Oh God. That's crazy. I don't relate to that.
You don't? No.
Oh, for me, it's like I have like probably one of the highest pain tolerance like of people that I know, and I'm just like I don't know. I cannot just like brush it off. Like I just ignore the pain in a way, right? So
Your FI, maybe? Can that?
yeah, yeah, and I think the feminine sensory as well. It's like I'm just like good at ignoring it, right? So whenever like something hurts or like it feels bad, I'm just like, yeah, it's like yeah, it hurts, but I'll just not think about it, right?
Interesting, because my little masculine demon sensory, I mean, yeah, it's masculine, right? So
Yeah.
I will notice. I can't like dismiss it. It's there and it won't go anywhere.
Yeah, no, like I remember like one time I still okay, I still joke about this with my husband, right? It's like I remember one time like we had like an argument, right? And he was like annoyed and he like we're having like one of those like couple issues that happen, right?
Mhm.
And during that time I was sick, right? I was like not feeling too well. And after the argument, like he like locked himself in his room because he just like needed some space. And I was like, okay, fine.
Mhm.
But I was just feeling so bad physically because I basically later I found out that I had COVID, right?
Yeah.
And it was that like like if you ever gotten COVID, like how debilitating it is. Like you feel terrible.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and there still were things that I had to do around the house, right? Like I was like doing was in the middle of washing clothes and stuff, right? Like doing laundry. And I remember just like I looked at my husband and he was just like mad and he saw me like being like, like dying, but he was like, no, I'm mad. And I just whatever. I just went down, did all the laundry, whatever, like almost like fucking like fainted or something because of the like how badly I felt like physically. And then I just like, okay, I can't do this. And I just went to my room and crashed. And then later the next day he was like, oh shit, you're really sick. And I'm like, apparently. And
Oh,
then he like felt bad and apologized for like, oh, I should have known, I should have taken care of you. I'm like, it's fine. I was just sick, but it's like you just like brush it off.
wow.
And
I guess you can do that with feminine functions then.
yeah, yeah, that's like the superpower that they have. Shan talked about this, that the superpower of feminine functions is that they're very flexible, they're very movable. So like you just can avoid it, right?
Mm.
Like the other day, my dad got a surgery on like his mouth for like dental implants, right? And he was complaining about the pain like a baby, like insanely, like all the time, just like, oh, this hurts, can I get my medicine? Wow, just crying. I'm just like, the last time I got surgery, like I like every time I've gotten surgery, I've never complained about the pain. I'm
Wow.
just like, oh, when are my painkillers? Oh, sure, I'll take them later. And I'm just like, and I've had like some pretty extreme surgeries, like from my appendix being removed, from like getting like my nose from like some breathing issue, and
Yeah.
I have like a lot of surgeries, right? And I just like never complained about the pain, and it's been like very painful, but I'm like,
Oh, wow.
it's okay. So I don't know. I think it's a superpower. Like I have pretty high pain tolerance.
Yeah, I guess it is a superpower then. Yeah. Must.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. I'm almost losing track from my OI questions here. Let me see where we were.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we're talking about SE and it's feminine, right? But also a demon. Do you feel that you sometimes can miss details in the moment? Like, do you have any
Yeah.
or even embarrassing examples?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like, um, for example, something that stands out initially is like my husband and I, we watch, anime together. That's kind of like a little activity that we do because he's savior consume, and it helps me like get more into like expand my consume. So
Mhm.
we just do that together. And usually when we're watching stuff, right, he's he has like a lot of SI because he's double activated SI, even if it's a demon, it's like double activated, like feminine double activated SI. But like when we're watching stuff, right, I'm usually paying attention and there's a lot of things that I miss. And he randomly comments on them, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't notice that.
Oh.
Oh, I was not paying attention to that. Like he's like, oh, now they are gonna do this, and I'm like, how did you know? It's like, oh, because they did this thing in the last scene, and it's like, oh, now that you mention it, it makes sense. I wasn't really paying attention to that. I was just like
Yeah,
something, right? Or
yeah.
whenever I'm like going out, or I'm like, you know, going to a different place, I just like I don't notice many things sensory wise, right? I don't know what color like your shirt was. I don't know what like you were dressed like you got a new haircut. I have no clue.
Mm.
Like sometimes I notice, not all the time. It's not something that I'm like looking for. When I'm paying attention, for example, in terms of like people, I'm paying attention to like what you're telling me, right? But I'm not paying attention to like, I don't know how you're dressed, unless it's like outrageous or something, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to. Like we miss these things, these details. Yeah, for
yeah.
example, now I'm house sitting, right? So my job is to take care of the pets and the house in general, like, and there are some plants that needs watering and so forth. And I was like, yeah, because I was shown some of the plants. So I knew there were plants in the dining room, in, certain places, outside in the garden. But it wasn't until after, because it's a 2 week sit. So after 1 week, I realized that just by the entrance, there were quite a few plants, like huge ones. I had missed them for an entire week, and it's been like a heat wave. And I was like, whoa, how did I not see them? I didn't see
I
them. They
that
didn't
is
exist
crazy.
on my radar.
I have an anecdote that's even worse than that.
Oh
It's
no.
like one time, right, like I used to go to work in a place that was really close to my house, right? And I used to like take the same trip like every single time.
Yeah.
And a few months ago, my husband came to visit, and we stayed in an Airbnb nearby. And we went to a park, and we crossed the same like path that I took when I went to work.
Mm.
And we were going that path, right? And I told him like, hey, this is where I used to go to work. And then he points at a building and it's like, oh, look at that church. That's a crazy church. And I'm just looking at it and I was like, has that been here the entire time? I've never noticed this was a church.
How many
Huh?
years?
And I worked for like an entire year, and every single
A
day I walked.
year.
And I didn't, I looked at the building, I was like, that is a church. I had no clue this was a church. I had no clue there was this building. I didn't know this building like went up. Like I just looked at it like,
Yeah, I know.
so
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Single
we're
observer,
clueless.
and I at the top.
Observer. Yeah, single observer, and I
And
fucking clueless about the mystery. Like no fucking clue.
oh, this is so funny. I
He
remember,
didn't believe me. He was like, "You're kidding. Like you've never seen that." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I just fucking clueless."
I remember one time I was driving a scooter and I had a passenger behind. And the
Uh-huh.
passenger must have been Savior sensors, SE probably. And I was driving and there was something on the road. I didn't notice it at all. And everything went fine. I don't remember exactly the details of it, but I kind of last minute managed to avoid the little obstacle that was there.
Uh-huh.
She was like, "Didn't you see that?" And I remember how I did not want to admit it, but actually I didn't. It didn't exist at all.
Oh my God.
And it
I,
was like
I,
she almost realized that because somehow she registered that you must not have seen it. But to her, that was absolutely impossible. Like, how can you not see it? It's so obvious.
yeah, it's oh my God. I get you, I really.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's
It's
embarrassing sometimes to like almost admit it, like, oh, I didn't see it. So like, oh my God.
yeah, I know. I know. Well, what can we do? Um, Let me see. I have something on that note. Where was I? Well, maybe it'll come to me later.
Yeah,
Move on.
let's move on.
Let's move on. Change this chapter. Um, so you're an NIFI, and this question may or may not be relevant, but
Okay.
has it ever happened that you have come across as a bit mysterious, maybe to some people? Like, what what's something that people often misunderstand about you?
Something that people misunderstand about me. Okay. Okay, I'm thinking of something. Um, Sometimes people think that I'm upset at them and it's personal. Like this happens to me, has happened to me before that well, usually when I see something that's like, not right or wrong or, the wrong logic or anything, I'll point it out, do the TE thing, And sometimes people take that as me being mean because I hate them or that I have like bad vibes towards them.
Mhm.
But to me, as a like feminine savior, as like a fi person, my feelings are not like they don't linger. They just like pass. So whenever I'm feeling upset over something or if I get annoyed at someone,
Mhm.
it'll just pass. Like it's very rare that I take something personal, like against someone. Like I'm probably as double decider as it gets with how my double deciding is balanced, and especially being a four. So most of the time I'm just like trying to be friendly. And if there's a misunderstanding, I'm gonna like clear things up, right? Like, hey, you got this wrong. Like, I don't agree, blank, right? But a lot of people take that as like you pointing fingers at them, like, oh, this person has like a vendetta against me. So like they're probably trying to be mean and annoy me, so they're disagreeing with me. It's like, no, if I'm disagreeing with you, it's probably because you said something that was not right, like something that I don't agree with. And the moment you prove me like wrong or like you fight your case or you say like, yeah, I don't really agree, like I'm gonna like step back and I'm not gonna like lean on it if like you're correct, right? To me, I think probably like you might understand this as like a masculine thinker. It's like the truth is very important. So whenever I see someone that is, misinformed or they have like a wrong thing that they stand for or whatever, like or the wrong data or anything, like I'm gonna try to correct it because like I really value the truth and it's important to me that the person is right. So I'm gonna correct them because I think everyone deserves to like know the truth and be right, to be put on the right path, right? And if I am wrong, I really like being corrected so that I'm not wrong. So to me, it's just, okay, only positive outcomes. Like we talk about it, and either you get the truth, okay, now you're right, that's good for you, or I get proven wrong and I get the truth. I'm happy. Thank you for giving me the truth. Or we're both wrong, and it's like, oh, then let's come to the truth together as a TE like family, right? And let's agree, which is probably not something that TI people relate to, but TE kind of does it like that.
Yeah.
Or hey, maybe we were both right, and now we both learned something new, right? Maybe there were both perspectives valid. So that's why I don't really shy away from like giving my opinion, like, hey, I don't agree with this. Either correct me and please put me on the right path, or I will kindly help you and put you on the right path.
Right.
That kindly doesn't always come up that way because I'm masculine TE, but I try to be, right? I try to be. And that's a misconception that I feel like people think that I'm mad at them because I think they're stupid and dumb and I want to show how dumb and stupid they are. When in reality it's like, no, I just like don't want other people to like get upset at you for like saying dumb shit. So like here, don't say dumb shit. This is what you're supposed to say,
Mhm.
So it's not personal. It really isn't. It's an act of kindness.
Right.
I
Yeah.
hope that makes sense.
And maybe the people who do misunderstand you are not, they don't have TE.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or they're not really that attached to like the thinking. They're probably like feminine TE as well. I've seen that as well.
Right. Yeah. Like, why aren't you just being more movable and chill?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But from your perspective, it's about helping. It's more about
Yeah.
a win type of situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, hey, I respect your intellectual capacity enough to like engage intellectually with this and me. So like let's engage in this. Like let's, you know. I'm not disrespecting you by telling you like I don't think you're smart enough to understand it, so I'm not gonna bother. I'm like, no, okay, let's do it. Let's figure it out, right? It's kind of like that's how I see it, right? And I know maybe it doesn't get across that way sometimes, but it's not my intention, obviously. I'm not trying to put someone down. I'm not saying like, hey, you're dumb, you're wrong. I'm like, no, I think this might be wrong. Let me help you like figure it out because I think you might like you're smart, so like we can figure it out together.
Right.
I I usually take the like, no, I'm not gonna bother engaging with you as people thinking that, oh, you're dumb so you're not gonna like get it, right? And I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, I think being like TE, you kind of like see everyone's thinking, especially when it's not like you kind of see it. So
Mm.
I often get surprised by like how smart people actually are. Like no one is really like dumb, so except for like a few people, right? Like sometimes you encounter them, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is a dumbass. But most people are actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
So I very rarely like not lose my like my hope that I'm gonna engage with someone that's gonna be like able to understand something, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and often when we don't agree, it doesn't come down to thinking. It comes down to feeling. Like people hold on to their values, and okay, that's maybe I can't like impact on that, right? But like, you know,
Yeah, and that's another thing between our types because I mean, the thing we do have in common is the observer axis, but when
yeah,
it decider axis, that's different because as you say, oh, it's like you hit almost like a wall where you can only come this far because maybe they have values and now the logic won't work anymore because
yeah,
they're not receiving that logic. They're closed off because
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I've
nothing.
I've learned a lot of that with like my husband is like TIFE, right? So he's in that axis. So like he's helped me see that much more now because he can see that clearly, the FE, right?
Mm.
So like he points it out and it gets me thinking like, oh, okay, it's like there's a feeling disagreement that we're not gonna like move that, right? For me, it's always like, oh no, thinking, logic, like the TE is external, like we can figure it out. But it's like, no, no, this is feeling, Browns. It's like there is no jurisdiction here that works for you, you know?
Mm. So, could you dress that in some sensory for us to understand?
Yeah, for sure. So it's like, um, imagine I'm gonna use the most controversial topic ever. I'm so sorry. Imagine you're deeply religious, right? And I don't agree with some of your religious practices because they might be harming someone else. Like maybe you're the sort of religious that you think is okay to like, you know, um, cut child's like scrotums when they're like child like their penises, like circumcised, right? And I think like, hey, that's not okay because like the kids cannot consent to that, right? But to you, it's something like, no, this is my culture, right? That's something that we like don't mess with that, right? And I'm like, yeah, but like that doesn't make sense because like people need consent for that sort of stuff. It would be the same thing that if I said like, hey, let's give gender affirming like surgeries to minors, like people can't consent when they're minors, it's like just how it works in a way. But it's like, no, no, that's different because this is religion, it's like, no, but the child, if there's not a medical issue for that, is just for aesthetics or something, like maybe the child doesn't want that. And oftentimes they don't want that. I know a lot of guys, for example, that they regret having their, private circumcises. They lose sensation or something. I don't know. And
Yeah.
it's like, that is a big decision. And that's like something that people can justify with religion.
Mm.
But I just like, I don't think you should cross that line, right? I don't think it makes sense. But like, okay, that's a value thing. So where do you draw the line? Where is it like a value thing versus where it's like a reasoning thing, right? Or maybe like the values are wrong somewhere. And I don't know exactly how to move that because I'm feminine feeling, so I can't really push that. Like I personally would not know how to engage in a situation like that because I can see that as a value issue, right? This like this is my culture, this is what I value, and it impacts people in my community versus like, well, this medically and talk like in terms of like consent and the law, like this doesn't, it's maybe like an outdated practice that needs to be like abolished or something, unless it's just for medical reasoning, right? So
Yeah.
it's like stuff like that. Yeah.
Very
So
difficult to explain it. So how would it be different for someone on the TI-FE axis, like your husband, for example?
they probably would be like, okay, yeah, these people, like, they're just weird. Let's just not engage. Let's just respect whatever they're going, and let's just like, let's agree to disagree,
Mm.
right? That's something that I hear all the time, that let's agree to disagree from like TI and FE.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time. And
Mm.
I'm just,
It rubs you the
but
wrong way.
it affects other people, you know? I'm like, but it affects other people negatively. I like, you know, it icks me. It's like, you know,
Right, right. Yeah. How interesting. Thank you
yeah.
for sharing these thoughts.
Yeah, and it's like complicated like conversations, right? Like and that's the thing, leaning back on what I was saying before, like it's not personal. Like to me, it's not personal. If you have that sort of belief, I don't hate you. I don't think like, oh, you're stupid, oh, you're it's like, no, you just have different feelings. I don't hate you. I'm just like, I don't agree, but like, but it's nothing against you. It's like against the line of thinking, you know?
This is so hard for someone on my axis, I think, to
I
understand
know. I
because
know.
as it is like, in a way, feeling hated by the FI, you know? That's how we
Yeah.
understand it. Because if you don't, like what you said, if we agree to disagree, that's kind of also a way of saying, I see your values, I see you, I respect you, I love you as a fellow human being.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's more like, oh, you don't respect me, like the opposite from our perspective, from the TI.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, something that I've learned, that's kind of how you guys see it as well. Like the TIFE, because the TI is personal,
Yeah.
right? So when people like try to mess with the TI, it feels like a disrespecting, like disrespecting your identity,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
As for us, we see the thinking as like something more like transactional, right? Is not as like involved. So it's like, even if it's masculine, it's like, okay, there might this area, by you having like a certain way of thinking, you're impacting other people and you're affecting other people. And I don't think it's going to feel good to know that you're hurting other people. That's kind of how I see it, right?
Mhm.
So it's like I wouldn't feel good like if I know I'm hurting other people.
Mhm.
So I think this that you're doing, or the way that you're thinking, is hurting other people. I'm gonna tell you why and how, so that you stop hurting other people, because I don't want you to feel bad because you're hurting other people with this.
Mhm.
Right? Is that sort of thing. It's like it's not really personal. It's not, no, I think you're stupid, I think you're dumb. Is not that. It's like, hey, you might not be considering this, right? And like, hey, maybe look at it, right? That's
That
and
is
it
that
it's
is so
very difficult.
because
It's
it's like
complicated.
the
Mm.
masculine tribe function. It's concerned about everyone in the tribe because it's so
Yeah,
aggressive, caring, or aggressively like, uh, well, fair or what you want to call it. So it has to be right for everyone. Like
yeah,
what?
exactly.
So it's like your concern is not just for the person being hurt, but for the person who is hurting the other one. So
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they will feel bad, but also the person being, yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like I was completely missing the point of like what the, FE and TI were doing, right? From the outside, since I didn't have these functions, but like
Yeah.
just interacting with my husband, like he's shown me that perspective, and I've learned to like, okay, this is how people function in that axis, right? So it's like I'm learning about it and I'm understanding it, so I can be more tolerant with it, and I can like ask as well the other thing, right? How they, for them to see how different it is for me. Like
Mm.
if something that you think I do wrong, like I love if you tell me that, right? I
Mm.
love if you tell me like what do you think I should do? Like that to me is like, please help me improve. Like help my thinking. It's
Yeah.
not personal,
Yeah.
right? It's like this is like free real estate, you know, just like give it to me, you know?
You're not being offended by that.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah. Yeah, these things are really wildly opposite.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
It's
impressive that people can stay together when you have the opposite axis in a way.
yeah, yeah, we have opposite axes on like everything. He's an ENTP, like officially type double feminine, NETI, consume, sleep, lust, play, social three.
Mhm.
So we have like opposite basically everything. We do have a lot of things in common. Like we're both sage sleep, we're
Yeah.
both observers, we're both intuitive, and we're both double masculine NT.
Oh,
And
that's
we're like, even though my NT is blast and his NT is consume.
mm,
So the thing that we've learned that works for us is one, trusting in the other person.
mm,
Like learning that even if you don't see things the same way that the other person does, they have validity to their perspective,
mm,
right? And this has helped so much. Like for me, I've learned to step back on the control and not just tell him what to do. I'm like, okay, you got this. Like if you need me, I'm here,
mm.
right? Like do that. And he's learned to be more open. Like literally just yesterday, like he was doing some arrangements in the house and he like sent me like a message and was like, hey, I'm moving like this around and this around. Like, what do you think? Like asking for my input, like as a TI person, he's asking for my thinking. And I'm just like,
Huh.
that's great for him. He's so cute. And I told him what I thought. He didn't agree and he did what he wanted anyway, but like it was still nice.
But yeah, right. The thought counts.
Yeah. Yeah, the thought that counts. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute.
That's funny. Yeah. Okay, we are soon going to wrap this up, mainly because of the battery life is very limited
Oh
right.
yeah, true. True. I forgot about that.
But yeah, we could go with a few wrap-up questions maybe. Like, I
Sure.
mean, basically it's impossible to cover all the coins, and now that we have so many. Uh,
Yeah.
I could ask you, for example, you are energy dom as I am, but then you say your husband is play last, so then he's an info dom. There should be some sort of, you could say something about that if you like. There are so many
Yeah.
things we could like, yeah, just talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. Something quick about that, for example, energy dom, info dom. Something that I've noticed is that energy doms, like us, we're more concerned with like getting to like, okay, we're playing the energy game. So like we're swapping like information related to like our sleep and our play, right? So that from what I've observed, it manifests as like knowing the other person, getting to know the other person and like kind of like seeing, okay, what is the life of the other person? What is my life? Like how do we like compare to one another,
Mm,
right? But when I see infodoms doing, they have access to consume and blast. So they're more about information itself rather than people. So they're like learning stuff from other people and teaching stuff to them, but they're not really learning about the people. They're learning from people. They're not teaching about themselves. They're teaching information to other people. So what I compare it to is like I see energy DOMs as like being in a dating website and info DOMs as like being in an anonymous forum sharing information. That's kind of how I process it.
right, interesting.
My husband knows a lot of information about me.
Yeah.
That's how I describe it. But sometimes he can't predict how I'm feeling, how I'm like what is my vibe, like he knows things about me. And like for me, I forget things about him, but I get him instantly. Like I know what he's feeling, what he's thinking. Like I know when he's gonna get upset about something, whatever, like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
it's like very interesting. We're looking at different aspects of it. Like I know when something's gonna tire him. I know when he's getting tired. I'm tracking the sleep and the play, right? He usually doesn't really know that. He's like, you
Mm,
know,
yeah, yeah. That's interesting. It's almost like deciders, they see the people and observers see the things.
yeah,
Similar. Yeah. Huh. Thank you for sharing that. Any other coins that you have been thinking of lately? Because you're also friends, and compared to him, then he is flex.
Yes. Yeah. Mm, that is an interesting coin. What I've noticed, I like the definition that they use that friends is externally motivated, like tribe motivated,
Mm.
and flex is self-motivated. So a thing that I noticed that I really struggle to do things like um like just because I want to do things, given maybe like some feminine if I might be like into it, right? But like I have a really easy time if I'm doing things for other people or like because I know it's gonna like make other people proud or because other people want me to do those things, right?
Mhm.
It's like that is easier to get me going than if it's something like for myself because I want like I don't know recognition or whatever, right? And for him, he likes doing personal projects and things like investing in himself. He's like he self motivates in that way, right? But that's a very interesting distinction that I see with us. He's much more like independent in that sense than me. I usually when my life is going good, it's like when I'm dating, right? And I have someone that I can like, okay, I need to do this, and I need to be okay because then the other person's gonna feel happy,
Right.
right? It's like,
Mm.
but if I don't have anyone to like attach myself that I can like impress, basically, I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna rot here. I'll just, and as I consume mass, it's even worse. It's like, oh, I don't need anything. I'm just like, I'm gonna be here. Low motivation, being a number four, anything, I don't care. I'm just very low maintenance in that sense. It's like I don't need anything fancy, right?
That's a good point. By the way, I talked about external and internally driven.
Yeah.
I think 6 or 7 months before Shan released it.
You really saw it before. That's crazy.
I have it on
Wow.
my videos.
That's
Yay.
amazing. Great TI there.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, it's absolutely true. I think so too, that
Yeah.
you get more things. So I think I'm friends as well. I put
Yeah.
on my
Yeah.
site, but I was Habibed a number two, and I think it's
Uh-huh.
I'm friends coin
Yeah.
externally. I get
Yeah. I can definitely see the number two for you. Like, I would agree with that. I think you fit the mold of the number two.
yeah. Okay, cool. Tell me why.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, you definitely, like, don't strike me as a flex. You're very approachable in that sense, like with the friends, the externally motivated.
Mhm.
And the imbalance that I see with generalize and specialize is that from what I've observed with it, right? I feel like um, people that are specialized, they really struggle, like um, just kind of like trying things out, like new things. They hyper invest into like one area, right? So people that are generalized seem much more flexible, and I feel like despite being an IJ, you seem like very flexible with like the way you handle like hey interviews, like where you're going places, you're moving. My husband, even if he's an EP, he's still a three, so like he's very stuck on like this is how I do things, this is what I have to do. Like I'm focused on this job, I've been living here for this set amount of time.
Yeah.
He really like takes his time with things, but like generalized has that sort of flexibility, which sometimes leaves behind like maybe it's not as polished as someone with specialized, right? So like they struggle with that, right? They go from one place to the other in a way. And I think that adaptability is kind of like one of the stronger qualities of like the twos, right?
Yeah.
And I think I see that in you personally, just personally.
Sorry, the last sentence. I missed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that I think I see that in you, like the adaptability of like the twos. Like
Yeah.
personally, I think I see it.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, that's cool. Nice to hear because I've heard that from other community members as well. And yeah, and I do trust Habib's judgment as well. He's really good at typing. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think he's really good as well.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So between me and you then, because you would be externally driven, but yet specializing. What would you say, what kind of specializing is it that you are doing then? Can you see it?
Yeah. For me, like it's in the middle, right? So like it's a little bit more balanced, right? I'm not going overboard like all in, but I look at it as like whenever I'm required to like do something, right? I'm just completely like zero in on that thing and I just focus on doing it and I'm not distracted by other things, right?
How do you
I
not
usually,
get distracted, by the way? I just want to understand, like, how does that work?
for example, I would be at work and there's like, hey, you need to perform this task. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And I just sit and I do it. And I just like zero in until it's done. And once it's done, it's like, okay, what next? Right? It's like one thing done, okay, then the next. But when someone is generalized, I've noticed, for example, I had this one supervisor that even when she was filling in for other people, like she wasn't in the job of like supervising. She would just do what we had to do. She would start doing something, leave it like halfway there, and then like go do other things. Like, oh no, everyone needs to take care of this. I have to take care of this. So she would go around in circles, right? And for me, I'm just like, you need to finish this one thing first. Like that, someone else can do that. Like first get this done, you know? So it's like,
Yeah. Just jumping around. That's what we do.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think like having it in the middle, for me, like I can ping back and forth between that, right? I can also do the like jumping around and like take care of other things if required. It's
Mm.
not a savior for me, so I don't force myself to do that.
Mm.
But if the situation demands it, I can do it. I've done it. But
Mm.
my husband just can't. Like he can't. Like he just
Right. Because
he
it's
cannot
it's
like
almost like being single observer about being
yeah,
specialist.
yeah, no, he experiences the single observing like much more intensely than I feel like I do. Like we had, oh my God, we had this one experience like one time when like he was staying here, right? And he had we stayed in an Airbnb together, right? And he set his flight for the day that he was leaving. We were like, okay, that's the day that you're leaving. It was that date, it arrived. And we were just like waiting for his flight, like in my parents' house. The Airbnb already like it was we had to like check out,
Yeah.
like our things was like it was booked until that day. And it's like, okay, all good.
Mm.
And he in his house, like he was like his mom was like taking care of her dog and like had told everything at work, like, okay, I'm not gonna be this day because I'm gonna go back in this day. So like he had everything set up. And he
Mm.
was just waiting in like my house, like with my parents, right? And then suddenly he just like starts looking at his phone and then he goes fucking silent and he's like, fuck, give me your computer. And I'm like, what happened? And he like refused to communicate, just like takes the computer,
Yeah.
starts getting into like the airport website. And I'm just looking at him like, Alex, what are you doing? And he's like, let me think. Like just very zero in, like TI, completely like zoning out from everything. And I'm like, Alex, what the fuck are you doing? And he just like, I see him like click, cancel flight. And I'm like, Alex, what the fuck? And he's like, no, let me think. He just like cancels the flight. And I'm like, Alex, what the fuck did you just do? He's like, leave me alone. And then he tells me like, sorry, the flight was booked for tomorrow. So I just like canceled the flight and I rebooked another flight. And I'm like, you could have just like stayed here and like waited an extra day. And he's like, oh, you're right. I was so fucking mad. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to strangle him. And then he felt so
Why?
bad.
I
He was
mean,
like,
you were
because
going anyways, but yeah.
he had, but he spent like an extra $700 just because they refund like half of the money, and then he had to buy another flight for the same day, which was more expensive. So like he just threw $700 to the trash instead of staying one extra day with me and my mom.
That was very unnecessary.
I know. He just panicked. He shut down. He like could not just like he was just zero in. And that's a trap that I see specialized people do. They just zero in. They lock in, especially when like single observing, they just like don't see
Yeah, the
the
big, yeah.
yeah, the bigger picture, right? And so it's like it gets really bad. He like panics about it.
It's not from A to Z, it's just from A to B.
Exactly, exactly.
Wow.
So Yeah, that's a trap that I feel like it's good that once enforced have, but since we have that in the middle, we are less likely to like
Mm.
completely like shut things like off. It's like we're not gonna get like zero in on one thing or leave the kitchen to burn, right? It's like
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
because
good.
Hughes will also be like that in another way. Have you seen that, or have you like because you are
Yeah.
saying ones and fours, and you are right. I think you're right. You are more like double observers, and we are more like ultra double, single observers. Like,
Yeah, I've seen twos just like run around, like trying to figure out what's going on and just like making things worse, right? Like they're trying to put out fires,
mm,
but instead of throwing water, they didn't realize that they're holding gasoline. So like they're just setting everything on
you're
fire. That's
right.
kind of like
You're
the
absolutely
analogy, you know?
yeah. I know what you're saying. I feel it. I just feel it. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh no, it says low battery. Your Mac will sleep soon unless
Okay.
into a power outlet. And unfortunately, during my travels, my charger has disappeared, so I have a problem. Which I also
This was a lovely interview though. Like it's fine to end it here.
is it okay? Okay, good,
Yeah,
good.
of course.
Maybe one quick last question because this has been so lovely.
Hmm.
Um, in just a few words, if you would explain your personality to a 10-year-old, how would you put it?
If I were to explain my personality to a 10-year-old,
Yeah.
um, just a few words. Oh my God. Let me think.
And oh,
Um, little gremlin with a knife.
little.
Little gremlin with a knife.
Ooh. Care to explain with a few more sentences?
Okay, it's just I'm small. I act as if I'm intimidating. I'm not.
Oh,
And I'm just a little thingy. I'm just a creature. I just go around and like do things, but I'm not really scary. I try to be, but I'm not. I'm
aw.
like I'm like a little small animal, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I punch, but I don't really like try to hurt you. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
You're
Yeah.
quite, yeah, yeah, I like that. So, oh, come on. This is the analogy we are using right now, the little traveling. So is this you then?
Yeah. Yeah, true. I
Thank
always
you
say that
so much.
IJs feel like gremlins, so
That was a perfect analogy. What a good ending to this.
thank you for
Love.
having me. I had a lot of fun. This is a great interview.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, anytime when you feel like hopping on to an interview, just ping me because I love talking like this. It's so
Yeah.
I had like quite a few epiphanies, like, yeah, like, wow, how much I could relate to a few things that I have to process now when we have.
Yeah, I think it's like great conversation because like we're very close related to type,
Yeah,
right? It's just the biggest difference is like the sensory, like masculine versus feminine. Well, the specialized, generalized, and then the ID, but everything else is like almost the same.
yeah,
So
it is. Yeah, it's so true.
yeah,
It's home turf, NF, like even though it's NF sleep for you and NF blast for me, but it's still, yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, it was great. I think this was very good. I hope the people that were watching they liked it as well.
Yeah, I hope so too. Okay,
Yeah.
I will talk to you behind the scenes and thank you so much for coming on and let's
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
okay. Bye.